So it's like Christmas morning in Waxway. It's 6 a.m. Coffee time. Coffee time is always a good time. I'm up early. Wait, now sit down. I'm up early because I spent most of yesterday in bed because I was just exhausted after steering for 3 days. So I'm up now and I'm like, wow, I'm full of beans. I ate well, I slept well. It'll be bright at 7:10 this morning, well, roughly. And I'm going straight at the steering and see what the problem is. I couldn't sleep anymore. I'm too excited. Excited is probably the wrong word. I'm too curious to see what it is and see what can be done and what can't be done. I'm optimistic it can be. It has to be something just snapped or something came off or something opened. I'm still pretty sure the rudder got a bang. And I had to laugh then. Everyone was texting me, was it the Orcas off Portugal? Thank God it wasn't the Orcas. So, today's mission, empty the lazarette, the aft locker, unscrew that bulkhead, possibly leave that bulkhead off. It's not a watertight bulkhead. Anyway, I'll cross that when I come to it. Crawl in under and examine everything. Then if needs be, and it has to be up top, which I'm hoping it's not, I have to undo and open the pedestal, the whole column that holds the steering wheel. So that's today's mission. So that's what I'm at today now. So I'm going to drink coffee and I'm going to have a good wash. I got sweaty and hot yesterday. Anyway, so that's irrelevant. So anyway, so that's today's excitement. I'm whispering because there's a lot of boats anchored around. So good morning from Waxwing. Updates on the steering soon. You like my blue lights? I read the blue lights and it's true. I use blue now instead of red. For night blindness. When I come in at night and the blue is on, it's quite bright, believe it or not. But when you go back out, the vision is still perfect. I find the red very, I don't know, submarine-y, or I don't know, that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. I just don't like, I can turn that red actually if I want. They were cheap, but I like the blue. Kind of funky as well. Funky Con Medina. Sunrise here at the anchorage. Magnificent. So today work starts on repairing the steering system. You want to hear the party that was going on over there last night? Boom, 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 boom. I probably would have swam over there one time for a crack. But anyway, there's the yacht leaving. So here we are. I have, as you can see, the whole boat, the whole lazarette emptied out. I have my clothes drying as well. Did a bit of laundry yesterday. Might as well take advantage of being here. So this is going to be very difficult to show you. So I'm just going to climb in and bring the camera. I don't know if you'll see much. I'll bring a torch as well so you'll be able to see it. So here's the steering system, obviously. Down below again, and then I got to go in here. You can understand why I didn't want to do this at sea. So I got to go in and see if I can show you without. And then I gotta go down and in here. Serious and all as it is, I still have to laugh. Okay, I just come out of that the lazarette, the aft locker. It's actually good news. It's I love when you can see something visibly wrong, because if you can't see something visibly wrong, you don't know if you fixed it or not. How will I explain this? The shaft goes down. I'm going to let this go. The shaft goes down from the steering wheel is here. It goes down. There's an arm comes out like that. And then, what do you call that? Anyway, there's a rod goes from that one onto another drive. A linkage. There's a linkage then goes from here onto another one, like a ball joint that clicks down like on your car. I thought that had popped off. It hadn't. There's I'll draw it. It's probably easier if I draw it. Anyway, it's fixable. There's a bolt that holds on that socket, that ball that the arm clips onto. That had come undone. So it's very tight in there. Look at this. But anyway, it's good news. So what I got to do is I'll probably take it all off, clean everything up, and I go back in and tighten it up and put I suppose tread lock on it, and but I'm delighted. I'm actually delighted. I remember one time I was getting something fixed with the engine, and your man says your water pump is gone. I was going, oh, thank God. And he said, why? Because I said, now I know what it is. So I'm glad I didn't go in a marina. I'm glad I came in. I'm really glad I didn't crawl into that hole at sea, because there's also a second big gear drive on it, like for a chain wheel, that must have been, I suppose, for a different style of auto helm, or else a different anyway, I don't know. Oh shit. It would be, I'm gonna have a wash. So that's the exploration work done. That's great. That means I don't have to take that apart. That's the one I didn't want to open, because it's pinions and gears and cogs, and could have been above my pay grade, I don't know. But anyway, I'm glad. So why that other one opened, I don't know, but that's why I'm going to take the whole thing apart. There was a friend of mine working on the boat, helping me beforehand, Gino, and he's a perfectionist. So Gino, you'll be proud of me. I'm not going to just tighten it up and do it. I'm going to take it apart, clean everything, check the tread, check everything, and put it all back together. So I'm glad I got up at cuckoo o'clock this morning. I couldn't sleep with the thinking of it. So that's good news. That means get this back together. Just double check everything. I know it'll work. I know it'll work. Get everything back together, and we can continue on the trip, which is great, which is super, which is really good news. So again, why it opened, I don't know. I suppose it's probably been there for I don't know how many years. So good news. And I expected actually to go in and find some part had fallen out and was gone into the black hole that things go to, but it wasn't. I'm having a cup of coffee. I'm having a big bloody coffee, and I'd be nearly tempted to dive off the boat for a swim, but I suppose that would qualify as leaving the boat. I don't really want to leave the boat. I have no boarding ladder. Well, I do, but anyway, I'm sorry, I'm ranting. I'm happy. Okay, good news. Okay, so just washed myself, got all the oil and grease off, over the moon. Now the offers were huge. I had the boatyard here and the marina here were on standby actually from a man in Scariff in County Clare, believe it or not. Owen, I think, had notified them, so I could have got help there. Another friend of mine, Christian, rang Bruce in Faro, Boatyard, and he was on standby if I needed a lift out or I needed the job to be repaired. It wasn't an underwater job anyway. I just have to crawl back in there and undo everything and open it. I'm going to show you now in the manual exactly what happened. So that's great news. I'm over the moon. Yeah, that's exactly what I'd hoped for. It's getting hot now. So all I have to do is take that off. I could even just probably tighten it back up now if I wanted to put it back on and tighten it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take it off, do it properly. I have time. I have another few jobs I'd like to do while I'm here as well. Maybe climb the mast again and fix that. And anyway, maybe, I don't know. So, like having things in, here's the key. Having things in place and spares were essential for what happened. Keeping the head, and I hope, you know, I did. I made the right decision. But like I have a tiller that's an emergency tiller that goes on outside that will steer the boat even if the wheel broke off the pedestal. So I mean, that's good to know. And I can rig the Aries onto that once I swap the lines backwards. So that's good. I also still have, I'll show you. I also still have the Aries that I keep, or sorry, the hydrovane that I keep kicking my toe off every time I go to the galley. But anyway, watch, look, boom. So I have that strapped in there. So I mean, and I have the rain marine. So the rain marine will work again. So I have that. I can bolt that on if everything else went to pot. If the actual ship's rudder fell off, I could still steer with the hydrovane. My auto helm will work again. So I have everything. I'm back in business, back on track. The other important thing about this is it's just I've been sailing so long. I'm always looking for bolt holes, I call them, when I'm sailing. Like if I was coming down along the coast here now, I'd know Faro was in. I'd know that you had Gibraltar. I know you had this and that. There's always places to run to. So even if I had, and I won't, but God forbid, if I had problems again with the steering, I still have the Canaries, the Cape Verde. I have Cape Town, or I'd have Brazil or Cape Town. You know, before you'd be entering someplace where you really wouldn't want that to malfunction. So I'm going to press on, fix it, press on, and if in any doubt, or if I'm not happy with it 1000%, I come back, or I change my plan again. I learned a lot this time. I learned a lot. It's not all about the goal, it's the journey, you know what I mean? It's the dream is big, okay? The dream is big, solo non-stop around the world. That's as big as it gets. Is it essential? No. What's essential is doing what I love doing, that's sailing and being safe, and not freaking family or people, you know, worrying people. So everything is good. I've learned a lot from this. I can fix it. I'm happy. The kettle is going on right now. Wax wing out. I wonder, is golf much fun? Look at this shit. sweet Jesus. So you can see the the reason I didn't do that at sea. So anyway, it's stripped, it's cleaned, it's back on, it's tightened, and let's do a test. Okay, so I just had a wash, got all that crap off. It took longer than I thought to do that, believe it or not, and oh, I keep forgetting my hat. Always forget my hat. The last thing I want to do is overheat, and it was already hot in there. You can see how tight it is in there. I mean, it's amazing they don't. Anyway, oh lads. We're back in the game, baby. Small, but I know that's normal play, isn't it? I'm probably just paranoid now. Okay, sails up. Oh Jesus, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. High five, Pete. Okay, it took longer than I thought. I'm going to do the cleanup, and then like a lot of that stuff goes back in there, and there's a little bulkhead that goes in. And it's just I'm going to put the I'm going to put the bulkhead back in, because what it does is it stops ropes and whatever I have in there, fenders or whatever. I don't have fenders in there, but whatever's in there, it stops it going in and getting snagged in the mechanism. So I'm going to put it back in, and like hopefully I don't have to go at that again now. Looking to see the wheel moving again, look. Oh, with the waves off the rudder. Oh, thank God, that's good now. It stopped the minute I put the camera on it, there it goes. So that's good. So that's a successful mission. What scared me? Anyway, I learned a lot and it all worked out. But what would have been, obviously I have internet now and I have phone. So what I was doing, in case I couldn't fix that, you know, you have to be realistic. I wasn't saying it on the video, but you have to be realistic. So I was looking up marina prices here and haul outs, and I left without any contingency money. I had set a high goal for raising money. I didn't get there. I got a bit of the way. I got enough to get me out, but so had I stopped and let's just say that a marina there, for example, and I had to leave the boat there and fly home, and it would have been tight, like whether I would have had the money to do it. So so it all worked out well. It all worked out very well, and can always cross the bridge of getting home if I had to, you know what I mean. I'm not worried about that, but I'm just glad it worked out this way, the way that it did, and obviously because I get to sail on. So beautiful here today, and boy am I happy. So I'm going to probably do a sea trial with this, not today now, it's late and I'm hungry. It's the evening time here now. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow morning I'll probably go for a sail and maybe just check everything out, and oh, I also want to climb the mast and fix that wind sensor. You'd miss it actually when you're sailing, but it's not essential. So I should be I'm not committing to a date, but I could be out of here Tuesday, then heading south Tuesday, Wednesday. Anyway, I'm not sure about that, but so anyway, all good, all good. So happy with that. Now I'm going to play with that for a while. Oh yes, it even feels smoother, I suppose, because it's all cleaned and greased. It was impossible to bring the camera in there. I had to have a torch to see what I was doing there because of the blindness from the sun when you go in. So it wasn't that easy to film it in there, so I didn't. Okay, food coma. Here we go. So everything finished in the cockpit. Just a few tidy ups there, really. I've moved a lot of stuff. I've emptied out the bow section. I had a lot of heavy stuff up there which didn't make sense, but it was kind of just how it happened as I was leaving. So that's all been kind of repositioned in under the bunks. I had all the bunks up each side. There's quite big storage in port and starboard. But while I was doing that, then I did my groceries. You might think, how would I do that? Well, I go to Super Value. Under each bunk is just stores and stores of all my food from Super Value that I got in Kilrush. So every few days I open up the bunks and I go rooting, and James and Anna in Super Value and Kilrush were helping me. So I found a packet of meringues that I didn't know I have, so I'm going to make some nice fruit into them. And I found a spray cream, so it's going to be very posh. Some nice protein bars that I like. Those crackers are good, and those biscuits are nice. And I have another box of stuff in there then with dried fruit. And I hope to set sail soon. I'm sweating, it's really hot here today, so I'm fairly well set now to go. I haven't done the mast. It's really hot, and there's so much activity here in the water that, yeah, there's big power boats going past all day long, and jet skis and the smokers. So anyway, it's all good, and I'm mad keen to get going. I'd nearly go today, but there isn't a puff of wind. You'd be a danger out there just drifting around, and I have to go through not the main shipping lanes I did now off Cabo St. Vincent, but it's pretty busy out at just out here. You've Gibraltar up to the left, so I mean it's still quite a busy place for ships coming in and out of the Med. It's the main highway for the Med. Also, I got to run the gauntlet with the orcas. Everyone from all over the world are talking about these orcas, emailing me and texting me. So oh, I gotta go up, it's too hot. It's way too hot inside. So all the orcas, if anyone hasn't heard it, Google it. Off Gibraltar, all the orcas are attacking boats apparently and breaking rudders off and this and that. So it would be kind of ironic that I did all this work to my boat. I have to laugh because it's comical. If I did all that work and then went out to sea and had an orca, I'd love to see an orca and have an orca. It's all cats here, it's all big cats. Look. I suppose they really make sense if you're a liveaboard here, you know, because the space in them is huge, I'd imagine. I've never sailed one. I'd like to deliver one if I got the chance. Look, they're everywhere. I've on my washing out as well. I'm going to be fully prepared, and the minute I get there isn't, you can see it, there isn't a puff of wind here today. It's barely just blowing the flag. Someone said, was that my Mayo flag? I'm going to miss the internet. I actually had a good laugh while I was here because I have Facebook. When I go back to sea, I'll have nothing. I just have text and email again. But so I'm getting some funny comments, and I love them. I really do, because even though I'm here and I'm surrounded by people, I haven't spoken to a soul. I can't go ashore. I can't, you know. So it's a good bit of entertainment, because when it gets this hot during the mid to late afternoon, I tend to stay below, like, so it's my friend Joe Toomey says Paddy wasn't built for this heat, you know. So that's a small little bit of an update today. So as soon as you can see the gap behind me, as soon as I get any bit of a wind, even if it's not that favourable, I'll get out and get going. I'm getting stale here, you know. I've done what I need to do, bar the mast. I mean, it's not the end of the world if I don't get the wind instrument up, but there's just too many big power boats. They're just flying around all day long. which is fine. I mean, that's what I'd do if I had one of them too. I'm not giving out. It's just, I don't want to get banged around up there again. So that's today's update now from Waxwing. Today's mission is climb the mast and hopefully reattach my I always struggle with the name of this, the wireless wind instrument. It works where it is in the cockpit, but it's not giving a true reading, and it's about 4 or 5 knots, probably lower than it would be at mast height, which is kind of what you want, and you get a true wind direction up there. You're getting, you know, confused wind direction here off the sails and everything. So anyway, I'm going to go up there today. It's dead early. There's no James Bond boats flying around the place, as I call them, or smokers, like the movie. So I'm going to get up the mast, do a complete rig inspection when I'm up there, check that my VHF AIS aerial wasn't damaged, which it isn't, because I'm picking up targets 70 miles away, believe it or not. A METZ aerial, a great tip, METZ, is the aerial I put up. It put my AIS range from about 25 to 30 miles to 70 to 75. From Valencia in Ireland, where I live, I could pick up north of Galway, you know. So I mean, it's anyway, that's just a tip. So that's what I'm at today. I'm gonna try filming it if I can. I have a new iPhone which I'm on now, which I'd be very nervous to bring, so I'll probably bring the GoPro and clip it on some way onto my chest or my head. So this is all new to me, so we'll try that anyway, see how we get on. And it's calm, so I'm not going to get battered and bruised. I'll never do that again. Okay, so here's my setup. My harness, the prusik loop. I also wear my my work pants with the knee pads. They're fantastic for sailing as well. Well, not in weather like this, but I'm going to wear them going up there today. It's also flat cam. I got up really early to do this, so no black and blue today. My wife Kathy would kill me again. I won't. So this is how I do it. This doesn't mean it's right or wrong. This is just what suits my rig and my mast. So I have my bucket ready, halyard ready to pull everything up. This is my main halyard. It's brand new Dyneema. I tensioned that up really tight and I put my prusik loop onto that. Then I have my safety harness that's clipped onto my, that goes around the mast and back on. Around the mast. So if my prusik loop was to break, if my main halyard was going to break, if everything else went pear-shaped, this will hold me on the mast steps. So you can't go wrong. I mean, it's fairly safe. It's not something that I'd probably ever chance at sea again unless it was like a dire emergency, but it was kind of an emergency that day, and I did it and I did regret it. So now is a perfect opportunity. I'll be leaving here pretty soon, so that's what I'm at today. Beautiful from up here. Beautiful view. Waxwing looking good. Unfortunately, it's not the end of the world, but the bracket there that holds that fitting broke. I don't know why. See it? Anyway, I inspected everything else. All the rig looks good, and anyway, at least I can rule that off and tick it off my list. So this is Portimao. Isn't it magnificent? You can see there's no wind. As soon as I get wind, I'm gone. I couldn't. Anyway, I suppose I'll tell you that when I get down. I'm sweating up here. Okay, back down. So, rule that out anyway. At least I know I don't have to. Anyway, I'll put the wireless wind instrument in the cockpit. It worked fairly okay there. It just wasn't giving my proper wind direction, but it was giving kind of a rough estimate of the wind speed. So, anyway, that's good. Everything else up there looked good. Jeez, I'm sweating. The other thing to be careful of if you're doing this is don't have I had washed my hands to get the sunscreen off, but I had touched my forehead up there when I was up there, and I got just be careful you don't get greasy hands when you're up there. That's just what I learned. Anyway, so that's good. Something ticked off the list anyway that won't hold me up. I got up early especially to do that. So that's done. Everything else up there was perfect. There's no chafe or wear in any of the halyards, or all the terminals look perfect up there. What else did I check? The halyards, the terminals. Oh, and the bearing. I checked all the bearings on the furlers. They're all perfect. They're all fine, running freely, and so it's all good. All good. It was worth climbing just for that alone. So definitely going to get a coffee now. A drink of water first and a coffee. Good morning. The wind is up. Waxwing is ready. Preparing to set sail soon enough, I would think. Be no harm to get out and run the water maker anyway. I didn't want to run it in here. I'll be setting a course for roughly southwest. Sorry. If the wind direction permits. If this wind direction holds, I'm good. It's not forecast though. But anyway, I have wind, so I can sail, which means I can duck ships and run. You know, I didn't want to go out there with no wind and be bobbing around out there. So my rough direction would be for the Canaries, whether I go port of them or starboard of them, or east or west of them, or through them. Again, that depends on the weather. I might get a straight run inside them down to the Cape Verde. I don't know. Again, it's all weather. So I'll keep you updated. Thank you for watching, and I know it wasn't that exciting when I was in here, but it was a lovely place to come and to get my repairs done, and the outcome was good. So from today on, it's back to the open water and lovely blue ocean. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. And the other thing is, when I leave here, I don't have any text message or WhatsApp or regular phone stuff. So if you're messaging me and I don't reply, that'll be why. Okay, thank you.